Okay.
29th of September, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Ezrat Hashem. Okay. We are ready to go. All we need to know is where do we go from?
Well, we actually did turn to the other side. That's where we're up to.
Oh, we did. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're up to the base now. Up Gemora base. We finished all the Rashis and everything else in the bottom of the other page.
Okay, we did all that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, so we did. So we're up to Machrazos Shel Dagim.
Yeah.
What's the din of Machrazos Shel Dagim? And by the way, what are they? They're fish that are stringed in a along a chut, a string. A string of fish. So that's the Aveda. Machrozes shel dagim. And the Mishnah said that's a case of an Aveda that does not have a siman, and so the din will be Harei Elu Shelo. The finder can keep it. He doesn't have to announce anything. There's no reason to announce that he found it, because there's no way that the owner can give a siman to prove that it's his. So accordingly, it belongs to the finder, because the loser realizes he can't get it back and he's miyayish. Okay. Oh, so let's go. So we go from the first line on Chaf Gimel Amud Beis. Lamai. We go to Lud to read the Gemora.
Amai. Why is this so? Leheve Kesher Siman. Let the not be an identifying mark. Vikit Ra de Sayarda. This is a case where the knot is a fisherman's knot. The Gule Ama Hachi Mikatre, which everyone knots in the same in this particular way. A widely used knot cannot serve as identifying mark. Leheve minyan siman. Let the number of the fish on the string serve as identifying mark. Min yana deshavid. The Mishnah is dealing with a case where the number of fish sold on the string is the standard number. So you can't use that as a mark. Should I go on?
They say that it's when they're sold, or just because that's the way the fishermen do it. Even before it goes to the the retailer.
It says when the number of fish sold on a string is standard.
Yeah, so that's not identifying. If everybody sells the same number of fish, it can't be a whatchamacallit. It can't be it can't be a simon. It's had 3 fish. Well, everybody sells 3 fish. Just like everybody before used the same knot. If everybody uses the same knot, everybody has the same number of fish, there's no simon, and there's nothing special that identifies that one over any other.
Okay. I don't see anywhere where it says anything about selling anything. Okay, fine. Fine. Oh, there's a Rashi. We have a Rashi, B'minyonish Deshavin.
Okay. Where's the Rashi? The minyanim, the shovin, the number is equal. Kava nehanu
Nahagu.
nahagu
No hagu.
nahagu. Already nahagu. They're used to hatsayadim. Those are the trappers. The fishermen, I guess, if it's fish. Lecharos, letaros. Is that to wrap it together something?
Yeah, to string it on the line.
Right. Communion according to the number. Hazeh, this number. The chazru, the taroz echad into one stringing.
So that one string that the fishermen string that makes this a string of fish, it always has they always do an equal number. There's a standard number that in the trade, that's what they do. So here he's talking about the ones that catch the fish. Since that's the way they catch it, and that's the way they put it on the string. They put it on the string, let's say 5 at a time or 3 at a time or whatever it is, and all the fishermen do that. It's all 3 or 5, and they all knot the fish on the line and with the same knot, fisherman's knot. So there's no identifying simonim to a string of fish. So with that, the Gemora leaves off the discussion of the machrosis dagim. Now we go on to something else over here. Boy minei mirav sheshis.
Boy mine mirav sheshis. The rabbis inquired of Rav Sheshis. Minyan have simon. Is the number of items found together considered an identifying mark? Oh, lo chazeh simon, or not? Amar Lahu Rav Sheshis. Rav Sheshis answered them, Tani Tuha. You have learned this in the Brisa. Matzah kalei kesef. If one found silver vessels, ukalei nechoshes, or copper vessels, gas teron shel avar, or broken pieces of lead, v'chol kalei matachos, or any metal vessels, that lo yachazir, he does not have to return it. Ad sheyitain os, until he gives a sign. No ad sheyikavein mishkelosav, or until he states the weight accurately. Umi de mishkal have simon. Now, since the weight of a lost object is considered an identifying mark, mida uminyan nami have simon. Its dimensions or its number are also considered an identifying mark.
Okay, good. Rashi.
Let's see which Rashi we're on now. We're up to
Rashi in the second line. Gisteron shel avar.
the Nistaron shel Avar. So this is some the broken pieces of lead, shavre, that's the pieces. Hatichot, broken pieces, remaining little small pieces, shell ever. And ever is, they're calling ever, lead is what Ramba, what law school's calling red. And then, should we go on to this next one, that the simon is, the weight is a simon? Simon mishkal, the weight would be a simon. Sheyomar, that he says mishkalo, this is the weight, this is his weight. The yechion yekevan ha'achad, and this is a proof. This is one proof. The yekevan, since it's one.
Oh, we didn't actually do this yet, so maybe we'll hold off on this.
Okay.
V'chatichon shel basar kule. Pieces of meat, etc. Amai. Why? English says that the pieces of meat belong to the finder. Leheve mishkala simon. Let the weight of the pieces serve as an identifying mark. The mishkala de shavin. The Mishnah is dealing with a case where the weight of the pieces was uniform.
Well, that means it can't be a simon if everybody has the same weight. If it's a standard weight, then you're not going to get a simon out of it. If you go to the butcher compartment and they all pack at pretty much the same weight, then how can you tell what the simon's going to be? Because they're all packed pretty much the same way.
Yeah, right.
Let the piece itself serve as the identifying feature. Oh, the dafka, oh, the atma. That is whether it comes from the neck or from the thigh.
Oh, was it number one? Was it number two? Number three? Four?
Is it sirloin? Is it rump roast? Is it ribs?
Yeah.
Me lo Tanya. Has it not been taught in a brisa? Matzah hachichos dagim. If one found pieces of fish, v'dag nashuch, or a fish that was bitten, chayev lehachriz. he's obligated to announce it. Chabios shel yayin. If he found kegs of wine, shel shemen, or of oil, shel tavua, or of grain, shel gerogeros, or of dry figs, shel zaysim, or of olives. Hare elu shelo. These belong to him.
Okay.
That's funny. I would think the fish that was bitten, you could describe the bite.
Yeah, that's what it says. Chayv lahakris. The fact that it was bit is a simon.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That's the first group. The second group is that he okay.
Uh, so the Gemara is saying, based upon what we see in this brisa, Dilo Tanya, have we not learned in the following brisa that if you have a specific type of piece from the meat, or maybe also from the fish, that would be a simon, like it says in the brisa. Okay. Rashi. Now we got this Rashi of Shechaban Mishkalosov.
Shechavin mishkalo, something about its weight. Shechavin, what does that mean? Intended? It's intended weight?
Looking where it was that we saw this in the Gemara. It sounds like it's Rashi's own girsa. We don't have it in our Gemara.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, we see. It says Ach Yitain. The din is this goes back to this goes back to this that we said we learned in the Brisa, matzah, kli, kesef, etc., and then it says Hari lo yaksir, and then it says ad yitain os o ad yichavin mishkalosav.
Okay, then he has to
Till
state.
he knows, to evaluate how much the thing weighs.
Until he states how much it weighs. Sheyama mishkalo, it says the weight. V'yikavein ha'achad, he state ha'emet, and he's stating the truth. You know, they I guess they measure it and then it works. He says it's so much, and they put it on the scale, and he's right.
Yeah, he knows how to evaluate and the how much it would be. Kivun, actually, he has a kivun. He has a way to get to the right amount, right weight. So that'll be a simon. Okay. Next Rashi.
Next Rashi after that is that the
Mishkala b'shavin.
The meat kal meat. You're saying meat kal. It's weighed the shavin or the same. Shehanu Nahogim Hatabachim, that the butchers, their custom is La'aso Hatichod, the Mishchal Zeh, to do it in this way. It's like what I said. They're just made, they're used to making a certain size thing. So all the butchers, that's what they make. That's, we were selling in kilo amounts, and that's how it'll be. So you really can't have a siman because they are all the butchers are used to selling, making it pretty much the same size. He's saying, yeah, well, I did this as 1 kilo. It's a big deal. We always do all as 1 kilo. There's nothing special.
Oh, because it says it says in our Mishnah, Hatichas shel basar, the din is harei elu shelo. So the Gemara asked on that, why should that be? Lahavi mishkal siman. You just got through telling me that somebody could can know the weight of the meat that he lost. He knows how to evaluate how much the weight of the meat is that he lost, and so therefore he could give that siman. Morris says no, because he buys it from the tabachim, and the tabachim they do mishkol azeh. They all do the same amount, so it's not a siman. Okay. Then the next Rashi, Chaticha Gufa Siman. To have a Chaticha Gufa Siman. That's what we're doing right now. Let the fact that it's a certain type of piece of meat.
Let the piece itself be the siman. I guess it's cut a special way, and then you say, oh, because he cuts it. Oh, he's the only one who cuts the piece exactly like that into that shape or whatever.
The Gemara says, "Oda dafka, oda atma."
Okay. Well, odafka is where it comes from, which part of what part of the anatomy it comes from, but then it says with this, first let the piece itself be. Yomer, he said, may aver ploni haya. It was from this limb, so to speak. This is the piece that I know it was. But then it said, oh, and then it gave these two names. Where is it?
Savar.
The dafka. Savar is the neck.
Yeah, so the Aramaic word dafka is at savar.
Is it savar? So that's the neck. Shamati, I heard umishum from this Rabbo and from my rabbi, from Reb Yitzchak, and because according to Ribskaz, the Reb Menachem, he's giving where he heard it from. The Reb Yitzchak, the Reb Menachem, Shamati, the dafka is flanken. Oh, there it is. Well, now we know what it is.
Flanken.
Flanken. A makom shedofek kishahu yagad, the place where it beats when it's that's yaga, when it's touched. I guess that's the place.
Oh yeah, what does that mean? What's Rashi saying there? Pirish Rashi b'shem Rabbi Yitzchak Rabbi Menachem she'akavona l'makom b'tzad habehema she'neshimas habehema dofekes sham kishehi mitametzet. When the animal is yogea, meaning when the animal it exerts itself, that from that part of the it's on the side of the behema, and the breathing of the behema beats on it. Okay. I don't know if that's the flanket or not, but whatever. Okay. So that the Gemara brought the Brisa. The Brisa said, Hatifas dagim, v'dag nashuch, chayv lahakris, pieces of fish, and a fish that was a bite was taken out of, that's chayv lahakris. And okay, so I guess from there, uh, meat from a cow is no worse than a piece of from a fish. If you say a certain piece of a fish is a simon and you're chayv lahakris, we'll say the same thing about a certain part of a behemoth, from which limb that it came from, that meat. And I guess you could tell by it's not just a uniform block of meat. It would have to be, you'd know it, you'd be able to, no?
Yeah, that's true. Like if you have ribs, right? You can definitely identify ribs as being different from sirloin, as being different.
Because those have ribs and those don't.
No,
Yeah, you could talk
cow has
bones and pieces.
sirloin and ribs.
Yeah.
If he says I made up a package of ribs, that's an identifying mark because you can tell that they're ribs. They're not sirloin. They're not lamb chops. They're not other parts, leg.
Okay. Yeah, you know because you do the every Erev Pesach, you got it.
Right. We do the lamb. We chef it and then we butcher it. And I bring it home and I know what the pieces are.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell them that way in the stores, as far as I know. I mean, you can buy chops, or you can buy ribs, or you can buy flanken or brisket, or there's different kinds. Indicates where they came from on the animal.
Okay. I guess maybe it's the difference between fresh meat and frozen meat. I know when I go to my butcher, I buy tell him number 4 or number 3 or whatever it is, and it all looks the same to me. Unless he told me that it was number 4 or number 3, I wouldn't have no idea.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that nomenclature.
Okay. But okay. Let's see what we got here.
Mar.
Oh, we got another Rashi. Chatichas dag chayev lahakriz.
Okay, we got up to that about pieces of fish. You have to announce fish pieces.
Yeah, that's the source for having to announce meat pieces, I believe.
That's surprising
Okay.
to me though, because with fish, you don't. It pretty much all looks the same.
No, it doesn't.
You don't
Fish
have
is-
like a leg.
Fish is going to be actually much more identifiable than the meat, because the meat, you're cutting up the inside of the animal and there are different parts within and you may not know what they are. You know, what part of the animal it comes from. Like you didn't know you're number 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. But the fishes are different. You could tell the difference between, what's a salmon and what's a sea bass and what's a flounder and all the different types of fish. The fish itself can be will give it away. Fish is all different.
Is that what we're talking
Oh, I
about?
looked.
The fish, or are we talking about where in the fish it came from?
Well, it's you could still tell. You could tell the texture. I mean, just look at any any fish store or in the frozen part of the supermarket. You could see by what the package looks like, what type of fish it is, the pieces of fish.
But we haven't been talking about types. We've been talking about position on the animal.
Yeah, but we're talking hatichot, pieces of fish. That's what it says. So pieces of fish, you can tell what type of it, what piece it's from. But, part when you're cutting up a meat piece, you may not know which part that came from inside that animal. Hatichot or basar, I think, are much harder to identify. Yeah, I mean, certain times you can find, like you said, neck. You can tell, your chickens, your pieces. But a meat, you're going to know which section of the animal it came from, except for tongue. That you can figure out, right?
Well, even more so for fish. You're not going to be able to tell what section of the fish it came from.
No, but you're really not only, people don't only get one, they get the fish. They don't really, I only want this part of the fish. You won't know. How can you tell a part of the fish? A fish is a fish. It's not really the same level.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's see what Rashi says over here. Hatichas dag hayv lahachris. So literally, it means pieces.
Pieces of fish. He has to announce. Ka salkadaita. This that you might have thought, because you aim behem siman, that there is no siman on these pieces of fish. That haticha gufa sim, the piece itself should be a siman for it, or me'etzel harosh, or whether it's from the head, or mean hazanav, or from the tail. Well, that much you could tell. You could tell it's a head or a tail of the fish.
Huh. I mean, if it's just the middle of the fish, it might be hard to tell what type of fish it is.
I don't know. Maybe in the olden days, it was different. But I mean, I don't buy the tail or the head of the fish. If I go to
You don't use it. Occasionally, when I'm in a crazy mood, you can get the head of the fish for your simon on Rosh Hashanah, because they will send it to you. The butcher, when you cut up the fish, he'll give it to you. Otherwise, you tell them. People cut it off. I don't want it, but if you want it, he would give it to you. And they kind of had. In fact, here, what is actually weird is that they've had times when you buy what is it, like say the gefilte fish roll type of thing, and it comes with an extra head with it for you to cook up for Rosh Hashanah at this time of year. They package it with a free head, because nobody really is going to eat the head much, because it's really very hard, very little, nothing, practically nothing in it. It's kind of messy too.
Yeah, it's interesting. Why Rashi's identifying that, like as though to say that that's the piece of fish that people buy, the tail or the head. I have a note over here. What note is Tess? Oh, me Eitzel. Oh, me Eitzel has on it. Me Eitzel Rosh. Oh, me Eitzel. Oh, maybe that's what Rashi means. He doesn't mean that it's just the rosh itself. Maybe Rashi means me Eitzel harosh. This is the part of the fish that's next to the rosh, as opposed to the part of the fish which is next to the tail. Can you tell the difference between the part of the fish which is close to the tail, as opposed to the part of the fish which is close to the rosh?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I could tell, but by the shape, I could tell where it was from. It was nearer the top of the fish or the bottom of the fish.
Yeah, so like that, Rashi's not talking about people buying the head or the tail to eat. Okay. let's see, we got 4 more minutes. So, okay, so that was the Rashi. Oh, and there's another one, Dag Nashuch.
Was this now? We're getting a lot of fish here. Dog, neshuch. A neshuch is like as bitten. Why would it be a bitten fish? Zehu simin shalo. That's its simin. The fish has been neshuch, bitten. The fish was been bitten. That's what neshuch means. I guess you could tell. You could tell if the fish was bitten that you would see that a piece was bit off. And then you would say, "Well, my fish had a piece that wasn't whole. Somebody took a bite out of its head, so therefore I know that's my fish now. The one that got bitten by another fish, or got bitten by something else."
Yeah. Okay. So that seems to be the raya that the Gemara is proving that chaticha should be a simon. What is the Gemara answer to that one? Kinan, fighter in the Gemara. First word in the line is Vishel Zaysim. The end of the line, the Gemara is answering Hachamamayas Kinan.
Yes.
Do you want to read?
Yeah. Sorry. Hacha b'mayas kinan. Let's see what is that.
A little bit below the triangle.
Here in this brisa, with what situation are we dealing? Bide ika simana be pascha, where there is an identifying mark in the unusual shape of the cut. Ki ha deraba bar Rav Huna, for example, like the practice of Rabba bar Rav Huna, mitaktech lei it lasa karnasa. You would cut his meat into triangles.
Okay, and that's the picture, right?
Right. So he could say, I lost some meat, and I know there's a specific sign in the way it's cut.
Because I did it that way, and that word, the lasta karnasa, is 3 corners. That's how you make it a triangle.
Right.
Karnas is the corner, so that's that. There is some Rashi here, and then we'll have to stop. It's getting later. Let's see where the Rashi is, and we could finish it. In Bama, we're up to the Bama Askinin. Is there? Yeah, there is. Hacha Bama Askinin. What are we dealing with? The Kanani that we taught, Chaticha Dag, is chayiv, that pieces of fish you have to announce, and it's Eicha Simanen B'Pascha, that there's a siman in the cutting of it. Shelo nitchacha kederech ha-chotchim, that it's not the way to cut it, the ways that people usually cut it. Ki ha, the Rabbah, like this is according to Rabbah, kashehi sholet basar, he sends his meat leishto, to his wife, biyad nachri, by a guy. And then we have the 3 corners, mitachach lo alta karnara, we cut it into 3 corners or triangles. Ose chaticha ba gimel karnos, kazet, that we make it 3 corners. like this. And there's the picture of the triangle with the three corners that he cuts his fish. So he's made a simon by I cut my fish this way, and now you know it's mine. Okay, very good. Take care. Be well.
Okay, shkoyach.
Have a great day.
All the best, everybody. Bye, Phil, and bye, Lou.